I'll tell you a little bit about how it went down last night here. 47 cars actually timed in on Thursday night, Brad Doty, and here is your race recap from last night. The Advanced Auto Parts A main event started with Terry McCarl and Brooke Tatnell on the front row, and it was Tatnell who got the jump. Cody Darrah also surprisingly jumped right into second right away.
Yeah, Cody Darrah started on the outside of the second row there, had a good run, but look at that, the leader, Terry McCarl, the 24 car, won the cream cams dash. They had some engine trouble early, changed the ignition box. This looked terminal, but the smoke actually went away.
And he wasn't the only guy smoking. Brooke Tatnell had some smoke and actually a little flame up when he goes into turn number 3 if you look closely.
Yeah, we talked about at that point Brooke Tatnell's bad luck. It looked like the race and possibly the victory was over for him. Again, that oil leak cleared up. He went on to hold him off.
The race was pretty incident-free until this one. Jason Sides has been stopped there for a while when Lee Sull, I don't know if he didn't see the yellow lights or what, but he plowed into Sides.
Yeah, Jason Sides broke a right front tie rod, got in the wall there, spun the car, and was collected by the 51 car.
This is as close as the battle ever was for the race win. Cody Darrah looked to the inside of Tatnell. Tatnell pulled away after that.
Darrah made a nice move, went to the middle, turned it to the bottom, but look at this battle back here.
Donnie Schatz getting by Terry McCarl, the 15 car working by the 24, and then Schatz is going to grab some more here as McCarl goes past him, but Donnie Schatz needed to finish 17 spots within Jason Myers, and last night he did more than that, finished ahead of Myers, and that clinched the championship for him.
Yeah, and he's still racing. He's not thinking about this point. He seen him go by the 89 car on the outside. That car, the 15, as usual, got stronger as the race went on.
Donnie always racing for race wins and went after the leader, Brooke Tatnell, but Tatnell got a big jump on the final restart, and this is the last lap. Schatz trying to get there in traffic, but Brooke Tatnell is going to be able to hold on and take the checkered flag. And Dave, that was the story last night here at the dirt track at Lowes Motor Speedway for the sprint cars.
And so for tonight, the story in part is celebration time. I love it when people bring me gifts. A nice little collectible of the number 15 Donnie Schatz sprint car will show up on the wind tunnel set tomorrow night, and you get our congratulations tonight on a third consecutive championship. Brilliantly done. 33rd time last night that you finished either first or second all year long. Do you guys go out there with that mindset? Are you out to win every single race, or do you sometimes have to pace yourself in a long season?
Realistically, you know, we can't go out and win every night, but that's our goal. We know we're capable of winning everywhere we go, so you know, that's the mindset. There's nights when you're going to start 8th and you might win a race, and there's nights you might start 1st and you're going to end up 8th. But you know, you never give up attitude. That's what my team has, and that's what's got us in this position.
You never go in there any night thinking, you know what, tonight we got to lay up. We got to save something for next week, next month, or whenever.
We did a little bit at the Knoxville Nationals this year. The last several years, we've just pushed so hard all week long, and you know, it was a little bit nice to kind of fly under the radar, and people kind of took us out of the equation, and you know, it was fun to be in that position.
Until it mattered, right?
Until it mattered, yeah.
3 titles, all different circumstances. Kind of break them down for me in terms of where you were, where your team was, where the series was. I mean, they've all been really, really different in a sense, have they not?
Yes, I have. I mean, in 06, when there was the split in the sport, you know, we decided to stay with the World of Outlaws, and a lot of people said that that's, you know, what won us a championship in 06. But, you know, last year everybody raced together again. You know, maybe it was a fluke. Here we are again this year. So, and on top of that, you know, under a new banner, under Tony Stewart Racing, with the people at Armor All and Chevrolet and Parker Store, it's been, they built this from the ground up. You know, Jimmy Carr, Rick Warner, the guys that were with me on my team last year, they've done a tremendous job to build this from the ground up and start off where I picked off leaving my own team.
So how much different is it really in terms of the way your day-to-day life works? This team now under a different banner, how much different is it?
Well, I don't have to worry about the little detail things that, you know, take a lot of time. I mean, just traveling up and down the road, how you're traveling, where you're going, planning ahead, you know. My biggest problem now is making sure I'm at the airport at the right time to get in the plane. So
that's a good way to have it.
It makes it a lot more fun for me, you know, to be with these guys, spend a little bit more time with them on the road when we race hard, but just to stay away from that and let someone else, you hire the right people, let them do their job.
Final question, what do you do now? You got the banquet, obviously. What's the first thing that you want to do now that the season's over, or perhaps the thing you've missed most, racing every night of the week?
Well, this time of year, you know, growing up in North Dakota, hunting's been big. I'm going to spend a little time the next couple weeks hunting, but first I have to go to Vegas to the SEMA show for Armor All. So we're excited about that. We get to spend a little time in Sin City there since we don't get to race there anymore.
The work goes on. Again, our congratulations. Thanks for the diecast.
Thanks, Dave.
Let's get you to the grid for your first Q Oils heat race. It will be Terry McCarl along with Kerry Madsen starting on the front row as they start to align out there right now. T-Mac in that number 24 car has a little extra bounce in his step this year. He had a 12 screws and a plate removed from his left leg from a crash in 2006. He's on the pole, so that is the 24 car. Donnie Schatz in row number 2 alongside Jason Myers, first and second in points, lining up right together. In row number 3, it'll be Mark Smith, the 2005 Port Royal track champion, alongside Wayne Johnson, who's had a great year. Jessica Zemkin is our lone female sprint car competitor tonight. She's inside of row number 4 with Tony Bruce Jr. on the outside. Greg Wilson and Chad Hillier in row number 5. And then we take it back to row number 6 where we have Brian Smith and Brian Paulus, a last-minute replacement for Craig Fulmer in car number 81. Craig suffered some burns last night in a crash, and he did not answer the bell tonight. You are on board your Fusion in-car shot with Donnie Schatz, and we are ready to go in heat race number 1. We're looking for the top 5 out of this heat race. They will make it into the feature. Wayne Johnson got upset up over the cushion. Now we've got trouble on the back straightaway. That's Kerry Madsen sliding sideways.
Boy, it looked like maybe he just got up over the cushion there, lost control, slid down the back straightaway. A couple cars getting by cleanly. He should be able to restart at the tail of this event.
Kerry Madsen, one of a couple Aussie drivers out here. He's from St. Mary's, New South Wales, Australia, 36 years old. Vermeer Motorsports car number 55. We get back up to the front of the field. There's Terry McCarl, T-Mac in car number 24. Had some problems last night, but was able to come back.
Yeah, ended up third last night, started on the pole. Some drivers may feel...
Let's go down to Tony Bachhoven in the pits. Give us some more on Terry McCarl.
Well, guys, I talked to Terry just moments before he went onto the racetrack. He's pretty pumped up, as you guys mentioned. He says they got the engine problems fixed. They were pretty sure it's the MSD box. He wants to be up on the top of the racetrack. I asked him about the change in track conditions tonight. His concern is if he has to go to the bottom, the banana boxes are further out in turns 3 and 4, so they're worried about how low they can get.
Good point, Tony. So those banana boxes moved out a little bit. That's going to force drivers up on the racetrack, and we've got a great fight down the back straightaway. Shots inside of McCarl with Jason Myers right behind him.
And it looked like Jason Myers in the 14 had to get out of the throttle a little bit.
On board, great looking shot from the rear of Donnie Schatz's 15 car, looking back at Terry McCarl.
Well, a lot of people have looked at the rear of that car 17 times. And Donnie Schatz having a good season. We've been documenting that, the champion. But out front of this one, remember the top 2 to the dash. Crane Cam's dash.
Donnie Schatz in front. The top 2 will go to the dash. Terry McCarl running in the 2nd spot. Jason Myers trying to get there. He's in 3rd, a few car lengths behind him right now. Tony Bruce Jr. holding down 4th, and Wayne Johnson currently in that final transfer spot as they start to spread out now a little bit around this, what they call a 4/10 mile racetrack.
You see the 77 car there, kind of a team car to Glenn Stiers. Is Wayne Johnson in that this weekend?
There you're on board with Donnie Schatz. A good look at how much the head moves around there. Man, that is an awesome shot. Let's just sit back and ride with him here for a second grab. You see anything that sticks out to you?
No, it didn't, but what really stands out to me is how easy and how comfortable it looks from that angle. And believe me, it's not. When he was running low early, you saw how close he was getting to those banana boxes. And I tell it almost every show, but these drivers cannot see those front tires from where they're sitting. So when they go down to the bottom, they're taking a huge chance as Schatz gets the white flag.
White flag is out. He puts a quick lap on Brian Smith, heads down the back straightaway into turn number 3. And that is your 2008 Advance Auto Parts World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series powered by Q champion Donnie Schatz. He wins heat race number 1. Terry McCarl is going to finish in the 2nd spot. Jason Myers will come home 3rd. Tony Bruce Jr. is 4th, and Wayne Johnson finishes 5th. In the sprint cars, it's all about getting into the top 5 to get into the feature event. So a nice job there by Donnie Schatz to pick up heat race number 1, and he did that rather easily, Brett.
Yeah, made it look really easy. Everybody down there looking at that race car, I'm sure, after this one.
So Schatz will take it to the pits, and he'll talk with crew chief Ricky Warner. We will re-rack it and come back for heat race number 2. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Vault World Finals. We are at the dirt track at Lowes Motor Speedway getting set for heat race number 2 for the World of Outlaws sprint cars. And it'll be Rob Chaney and Jason Sides up on the front row of this one, Brad. Danny Lasowski, who figured so prominently in the show last year here at the Vault World Finals. Great race with Steve Kinzer. He'll be inside of row number 2 alongside of Darren Pittman. Row number 3, Joey Saldana. It's been a little bit of a struggle for him the closing half of the season. And Paul McMahon, who has brought that 6 car up to possibly 11th in the point standing since he took over. Lucas Wolf and Lance DeWeese will be in row number 4. A couple of good ones from Pennsylvania. Then it's Brian Ellenberger and Nicky Young in row 5. And Lee Jacobs will be back there on his own in row number 6. You pick out a favorite in this one, Brad?
Well, this is going to be tough. Lasowski, as you said, really tough last year at this one. So was Darren Pittman up in there in that 3-way battle for a while. So these guys definitely know their way around the racetrack.
Jason Sides outside of the front row in the 7S car, doing a little bit of research and development this weekend for Steve Kinzer Racing, actually.
Yep, running a Steve Kinzer car and engine, and trying some things on the chassis and letting Jason be the one out here testing it.
All right, same drill. We're going 8 laps. The top 5 finishers will advance to tonight's Advanced Auto Parts A main event. And the green is in the air for heat race number 2. It's Rob Chaney who gets the jump, and he's going to hold it right up there on the cushion. Good drive for Lasowski down low, and here comes Joey Saldana in the number 9 car.
Oh boy, he just squeezed through there and look how the car had to run up across the racetrack. He had so much momentum as he went into turn 3.
Looked like he narrowly nailed one of those banana boxes there that, as Tony mentioned, they've moved out a little bit.
Almost looked like he hit it with the lefter, didn't he? Which is definitely a stronger part of the race car than the front. Hit it with the left front, it can knock the front axle or bend the radius rods on these race cars.
Darren Pittman going to work on Danny Lasowski right behind him. Pittman up on the high side. Looks like there's a little more room to maneuver than we saw last night here at the dirt track.
Last night the racetrack got a little choppy, and boy, tonight it's smooth as glass all the way up to that cushion.
Darren Pittman and Danny Lasowski running 4th and 5th. Those are transfer positions. The last thing they want to do is really get locked into a big battle and give the guy in 6th a chance to get up there and get in the mix.
Right, you might say, well, why is Darren Pittman, he's in a transfer spot running so hard? Because that's an insurance spot. You never know how you might make a mistake, jump the cushion, and then you find yourself out of a transfer spot. So that's an insurance spot. You want to just get every position you can.
And there is the guy in 6th. It's Paul McMahon, who is on the outside looking in right now. There's Rob Chaney out in front and doing a good job in that Hammer Motorsports number 24.
I want to give a shout out to Ronnie Emmons. Emmons Towing on the car, this race car, diagnosed with cancer recently. Our thoughts are with Ronnie, and hope you get well soon.
And Rob Chaney doing a good job as he continues to lead this one. The Ohio driver out in front of Jason Sides now by just over a second, a little over a second as the laps wind down. White flag is out one more time around now for Rob Chaney.
Be interesting to see if he goes to the bottom at all, or maybe even after the checkered flag moves out. He's been stuck on the top the whole race. Fast up there right now, but the car's got to be maneuverable for the main event.
Really strung out all the way around. It's going to be Chaney the winner, followed by Sides, Saldana, Lasowski, and Pittman. They will be your 5 transfers into the Advanced Auto Parts A main event tonight. Everybody else will have to do it the hard way, either through the Last Chance Showdown or the consolation event. That'll include Paul McMahon, who was 6th, Brian Ellenberger, Lucas Wolf, and Lance DeWeese, our May winner here, Brad, struggles to a 9th place finish.
Yeah, that's not good. You come back, you always have high hopes when you're the previous winner here, but they're struggling a little bit.
So Rob Chaney, you're doing a fantastic job in heat race number 2. And let's go down to Tony Bachhoven. If you recall, race fans, going back to heat race number 1, there was a little contact between Jason Myers and Kerry Madsen, and we'll show you a replay of what happened. It looks like the two came together there, right rear to left front, and that sent Madsen sideways. He took exception to that, and after the checkered flag, ran up close to Myers and actually kind of forced him down into the infield. And so let's find out what the deal is now as we go down to the pits, and Tony Bachhoven, who's standing by with the guy they call the Madman, Kerry Madsen.
That's right. Kerry, you had a little trouble in the heat race. Tell us what happened, first of all, on the start.
Now, the start was too slow, and I had a guy come through the inside before in the white line, and they let the start go. They were going to let the start go, and just got ran out of racing room there at the end, part of it, sprint car racing, just disappointed for the team. We had a good position, but, we'll get through the B and get a good position. We'll get back up there, and, I won't let anything on the table now. If I can get close, I won't be lifting. I'm coming straight through, so see if we can put a show on.
Now, you went and talked to Terry after the race. Was that about how slow the start was?
No, just congratulated him on the win, and, that's the way Terry does every start, so I knew that was coming, but, just the guy behind got a great jump, awesome jump, and he had me pass, had us both pass before the white line, and just one of them deals, man. Everyone's trying to get what they can get, and it's all part of it, and, You know, just disappointed we didn't get the best. We come out in the short stick, but we still got a car left. I can't believe that after that deal. So, like I say, B main, and we'll get up there.
Let's go to Sarah Jane.
Well, Jason, you had a good run there in your heat race, but afterwards you got a little tap from Kerry Madsen. What was that all about?
You know, I don't know. We've kind of had that problem with him all year long, and I really don't know, to be honest with you. It seemed like he ran out of room a little bit off two there on that first start, and that's just kind of the way he plays the game. So no big deal. We had an okay run there. We needed to run top two, but we'll get this DD&I car up front in the dash here, hopefully.
Okay, Jason's not going to let that get to him. He's ready to go here tonight.
Welcome back. Heat race number 3 about ready to roll. It'll be Jack Hodenshield and Fred Raymer from the front row. 19-year-old Cody Dara inside of row number 2 alongside of Ed Lynch, Tim Schaefer, Brian Leppo, Greg Hodden, Linton Jeffrey, TJ Weingartner, Scott Flammer, and Josh Weller in this heat race. Great racing down the back straightaway, 3 wide into turn number 3.
One thing about Cody Dara, the 89 car there, he's not afraid to stand on the gas. He had a good run out of turn 2. Moves up there, finds himself now in second dash position here.
Ed Lynch Jr. cutting underneath Brian Leppo there to pick up a position, and here comes the Apollo Rocket, the 2 L's on the move. He cuts in front of Fred Raymer.
Boy, Raymer in trouble. Started up front, that car sliding back. Really?
Raymer back into the 4th position right now. The top 5 will advance. Brian Leppo trying to hold down the 5th and final transfer spot. When we have trouble, we've got one over into the fence, and I believe that is Linton Jeffrey. Track is pulling in. We're about set to restart this one. Heat race number 3. Top 5 finishers again advancing to your Advance Auto Parts A main event. Brian Leppo is the guy who's going to be filling the heat right now in that 5th and final transfer position. He's got Greg Hodden right behind him in the yellow number 22. Hodden dipping down low, and he picks up the position, goes right past Leppo.
The restart definitely helped him as he gets by on the inside.
Maybe hasn't been the best year for Greg Hodnett. The wins are down a little bit this season, but anytime you go to any racetrack across the country with him behind the wheel of a sprint car, he's going to be one of the top guns.
Absolutely. I'm sure he's disappointed. He'll tell you that in this season, but man, one of the nice guys in sprint car racing, and it's kind of ironic, the 2 Pennsylvania guys going at it here in the heat race.
And Hodnett is one of the few guys that has a win here at this racetrack. You have to go back, I believe, to the Bob Stewart car, but he did pull off a win here at this track. As a matter of fact, at this track, when it comes to feature racing, the Advance Auto Parts A main, the last 10 races have produced 10 different winners, Brad.
Including last night, and that is an incredible number. That just shows you how competitive this racetrack is, and not really one driver or team has been dominant.
Hodenshield dominating this one right now. Cody Darrow's running 2nd. Ed Lynch Jr. is in the 3rd spot. Then it's Raymer and Hodnett, 4th and 5th. Those two still having a bit of a tussle, but it looks like the top 5 are pretty safe right now with the white flag flying. Off of turn number 4, the checkered is going to go to the R19, the Wild Child. Jack Hodenshield gets the win. Cody Dara showing so much promise in that 89 car will finish 2nd, followed by Ed Lynch Jr., Fred Raymer, and Greg Hodnett. They make it on in. The rest of the guys will have to do it the hard way, and that is to come through the last chance showdown. You never want to be in one of those, do you, Brad?
No, you don't. I mean, it does give you some extra time on the racetrack, but you got to start behind all the dash cars, so the best you can start at 11th in the A main.
This is the final heat race for the sprint cars, and here's the way this one will line up. It'll be Craig Kinzer in the Bass Pro Shops, car number 20, the car owned by Tony Stewart. He will be your pole sitter. A couple of wins here late in the season for Craig. He's come on in the second half of the campaign. Last night's feature event winner, Brooke Tatnall, outside the front row. It'll be Steve Kinzer and Chad Kimmon on row 2. Alan Cole and Brandon Martin making up row 3. Danny Smith and Sam Haferteep Jr. in row 4. Glenn Stiers, the promoter at Oshwegan Speedway, and Jimmy Stinson in row 5. And Louis Caryafel in row number 6. We are green, and jumping out in front, that is Craig Kinzer in the 20. Steve Kinzer getting a drive down low, down the back straightaway. He'll go wheel to wheel with Chad Kemenon. He picks up the 3rd spot.
Takes a spot away, goes right up, slides in front. Nothing Kemenon can do but sit there and watch him go by.
Steve trying to get up there into the top 2. The top 2 finishers will be eligible for the Crane Cams Dash, and it's the top 2 in each heat plus the 2 fastest qualifiers that also finished in the top 5 in their heat races and transferred into the Advance Auto Parts A main. If you didn't get all that, you can't figure it out, don't worry. We'll keep tabs on it for you.
Qualifying always important, but yes, if you don't make it in the top 2, hopefully you can fall back on your qualifying spot and get into the top 10 of that dash.
Good battle for 6 right there between Alan Cole and Sam Haferteep Jr.
Oh,
Haferteep with a little kung fu. That was a chop, wasn't it?
That was a chop. Turning left on the guy going in the corner like that, taking the line away.
Danny Smith up on the cushion. Talk about an original outlaw. He was one of the guys that was running right there with Rick Ferkel back in the day, and trouble over in turn number 2. And that's our boy Louis Carrieville in the 47X. He was running at the rear of the field in the 11th position when the yellow flag came out. I don't know what his problem was there. He looks like he's set up to go down the back straightaway. Nice.
Yeah, things just kind of parked there.
Good job.
Really good look at the racetrack, though. You can see all that dirt piled up there. That's the cushion. You see working Woody driving up on the back there to give him a push start.
Let's dive down to the pits and check in with Tony Bacco, and was caught up with the Wild Child.
Well, guys, the Wild Child had her going there in the heat race. Jack, great job. You got yourself a win there in the heat race. You're on your way to the Crane Cam Dash.
Yeah, the car felt good. Track's getting a little slicker, and you know, probably just tighten the car up a little bit for the dash, and we didn't draw too good for the dash, but you know, R19's been good, so I think we'll be all right.
Talk about that a little bit. You guys have really got this car going the last 6 or 8 weeks.
Yeah, Leonard, you know, got the car working real good for us, and the competitive motors are really running good, and you know, just the whole combination's been really good lately.
Let's go back upstairs to Bobby and Brad.
Tony, as we mentioned, all 5 of Hod's wins, the Wild Child coming since August 10th. 46 top 10s, though, on the year. And, you know, you might not think for a guy with the nickname the Wild Child that he would be that consistent, but he really has turned into a consistent racer.
I guess maybe that comes with age. I was teasing the race that he and Steve Kinzer the weekend, they ran first and second, swapped the lead, old and older, getting it done. So the Wild Child, I think he has slowed down a little bit, but he has had a great season.
You saw him there chatting with Leonard Lee. He's the guy who spins the wrenches on the Carnahan Motorsports R19. So we are about set to go back to green. Craig Kinzer is out in front. Brooke Tatnall in second, but he's got Steve Kinzer right behind him. Crane Cam's Dash starting spot on the line there, Brad. If you were in Brooke Tatnall's seat, what are you going to do in turn number 1 here to try to protect?
Well, it depends on where you're at. If you can stay right on Craig Kinzer's bumper and you focus on going for the lead then. But if he doesn't get a very good start, then he's going to have to try to focus on making a good line through that corner and not let Kinzer get by.
Tatnall jumps off of there in a nice way, and Steve Kinzer can't do anything with him. So it'll be Craig Kinzer, Brooke Tatnall, Steve Kinzer, top 3. And still a good battle going on for the final transfer spot, though, as Chad Kemenah runs fourth, but Alan Cole sweeps down low and takes it away from Brandon Martin. How about Al Cole?
Having a really good run here. Danny Smith sliding up to Martin there, no contact, but good run for Alan Cole.
Danny Smith right behind Martin. You see cars working high, cars working low. Quick glimpse of Sam Hafertepe Jr. there in the Fusion Energy, number 15. Now back up front to the Bass Pro Shops, number 20, and that is Craig Kinzer.
And look right behind him, you see the green car kind of sneaking up.
Oh, he gave it a little peek, didn't he?
He sure did, but he lost momentum. He was on the bottom, had a really good run, but he killed his momentum coming off the corners.
Checkered flag is in hand for Craig Kinzer. Car number 20 will win our 4th and final sprint car heat race. Last night's winner, Brooke Tatnall, is going to bring it home second for Woodward Racing in car number 2. It'll be Steve Kinzer, 3rd in the 11 car. 8K of Chad Kemenah finishes 4th. And Alan Cole doing a nice job finding his way down on the bottom of the racetrack to get that final transfer spot in the 35 car. There is Craig Kinzer, the winner of Q Oil's heat race number 4.